A master and his disciple was strolling through the jungle. They spoke softly to each other, minding each step so as not to disturb the roads of busy communities weaving underfoot. The disciple was in a state of conflict. He was struggling to understand the nature of suffering. Master, I am struggling to understand your view on suffering. The world, filled with pain, seems to necessitate it. How can you claim that suffering is optional? Nodding in agreement, the master replies, I understand your objection. It is true that we cannot control the world, but let me ask you, in what sense do you truly exist within it? The disciple was quick to answer, well, of course I exist in the world. Are we not here together, in the same jungle, conversing across a shared space? Trying to teach his disciple, the master replies, yes, it seems like this is the case. But consider, what if you are dreaming or hallucinating? This experience may be merely a construct of your mind. Dismissively, the disciple retorts, of course it isn't. To which the master questions, how can you be sure? The disciple explains, dreams lack the vividness of our current experience, and hallucinations warp reality. The master raises another question. But does a dreamer or hallucinator always compare their experience with another? The disciple contemplates this. After some time, he speaks again. I suppose a man can dream or hallucinate without realizing it, but this is not his normal state. I agree, the master says. However, if we can hallucinate and perceive a different world, it suggests that the existence of any world is dependent on perception. If our perception changes, the world does too. The perplexed disciple asked, so are you saying that the only reason I suffer is because of my own perception? Yes, a great deal of suffering arises from perception, the master answers. Angrily, the disciple scoffs. Do you mean I am responsible for the pain in my life? That I have control over it? Engrossed in their debate, the disciple loses focus and no longer minds where he is going. Suddenly, he feels a sharp pain. A wire trap has been strung by a wayward step, triggering a poison dart that pierces his lower leg. Bellowing angrily, the disciple rips out the dart, whirls around, and spots the trap. He rushes towards it, intending to stomp it to pieces, which trips another wire. A second dart pierces the skin of his other leg, depositing a now problematic dose of poison. The disciple collapses on the ground. Teeth gritted in agony, the disciple shouts, you see, suffering and pain are inevitable. Stooping over, the master helps the disciple up and slings his arm over his shoulder. Together, they walk back in the direction from which they came. With a soft tone, the master continues questioning his disciple. Calm yourself, my disciple. Where does your anger exist? Is it here, in the physical world, burning between the trees? After some deep breaths and thought, the disciple answers, well, no. Making his final point, the master says, had you not grown angry, you'd have been struck by only one dart, and you would be perfectly able to walk now. Trying to get a word in, the disciple mutters, I suppose, but... Cutting the disciple off, the master continues. The first dart was born of an inevitable mistake and caused genuine pain. However, the second dart was a result of your anger. You have the ability to control your anger, but instead, it controlled you. Your reaction, not the world, is the true cause of your suffering. If you wish to avoid it, learn to avoid the second dart. As the disciple realizes the truth, his eyes widen and he grows quiet. Feeling the pain intensify, they slowly make their way back to the monastery where the antidote awaits. In life, we can't always control the first dart. However, The second dart is our reaction to the first. The second dart is optional. This Buddhist story of two darts, despite its simplicity, touches on a fundamental truth about the way we exist in the world. Our brain is a prediction machine, the most powerful CPU that is trying to convert our unpredictable world into a predictive model. This modeling is predictive because our brains find comfort in the known, but it cannot truly know what is out there. There's just too much information and too little time. So, our brain makes a best guess based on statistical regularities and past experiences. When things happen that go against our assumptions and predictions, it is common for us to get frustrated with our undesired outcomes. This can cause us to try to take control of the uncontrollable and further our suffering when things continue to go against our perception of how the world should be going. What we should do instead is focus on the things we can control: our actions, emotions, and attitude. It's inevitable that things will go astray and not everything will work out, but with the focus on keeping a strong, resilient mindset and finding out what we can truly control, we can live a more stable life. Focusing on keeping a level head through difficult and unwanted situations will help you make more rational decisions that can help you find a more desirable outcome. This story is a reminder to pay attention to what is within your control, rather than the things that are not. You can't calm the storm, so stop trying. What you can do is calm yourself. The storm will pass. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.